Hi guys, so I'm going to be revisiting the Bluetooth electronics vid. Just going to be using this app here that we used last time. So first thing we're going to want to do is make sure we've got power to our Bluetooth module. And I'm going to connect to it. I click connect. Obviously I'm using the classic, that's the low energy one, that's a new one. But the low energy one, obviously we're not using. You can do it via USB now as well, so they've added a few more functions to this. Originally why I used this app is because it didn't actually have any adverts or anything on it, whereas now when you close the app it actually has got adverts on it, so they've changed that to obviously make some pennies. So we're going to connect to it. If it hasn't been set up on your Bluetooth, you'll probably find it's just 1 2 3 4. So we're going to click connect. Now we're connected. Now once we're done on there, so what we're going to do is just get a blank one. So we'll just pick one of these and click edit. So first of all we're going to add the power function as before. We'll use a switch. So go to switches and we'll just drag one up. And the first thing we'll do on here is get to edit. Change that to a capital P. And change that one to a lowercase, like so. That's simple. Come off of there. We don't need to mess with any of this, so we'll just click OK. Right, so that's that button set up. So we're going to want, we've got 8 channels on our relay, as you can see. So we're going to want 8 of these. Let's drag these up. And we're doing one by one. So right, there's our 8 channels for our relays. So we'll start with the first one. I'm going to click edit. So we're going to change that to a capital A and change that one to a lowercase. Get rid of that. That's that one done. We'll go to the second one now. I'm going to click edit on there. Capital B. I'm going to do a lowercase b on there. The next one, same again. This one's already set up because I think C is the default, so we've already got the uppercase and the lowercase c, so that one's fine, we can miss that one out. Next one, as you can see, it comes back up with C, so that's the default, so I want D on this one and a lowercase d. That's them first 4 done. I want uppercase E and a lowercase e. Really simple. I don't know why people are getting this struggling with this, since it's I couldn't make it any easier if I tried. And one F and lowercase f. I'll edit that one. One uppercase G and a lowercase g. Oh, didn't mean to press that. Come on. Shit, this pad. Absolutely rubbish. But I've got to find some use for it. It's been used as a doorstop for the last few months, so I use it as a tablet for the time being. That's crap. Right, so that's all of them set up now. So we're running from A through to H. And obviously on here, we're running from digital pin 2 right the way across to digital pin 9, and obviously we're running from the first relay, which is this one here, right away across to the 8th relay here, and they're all in order. So it's really simple setup. Once that's done, obviously I've added a little bit of code into this already, but we're going to go into the code in a second and we're going to redo that as well. So I haven't actually added the power function into the actual code on the Arduino, but we can now run that project. We don't need to bother with the power button. It will work without. So if I click this one here, as you can see, it's come on, and that's because I've already assigned this one to A, and that's what it's listening for. Obviously, see the serial. You can just see that serial, that light there, the little red one. I don't know if you can just see that. There's a little red light there, and it's just flickering. But that's actually the serial read, and that's going, I think it's every 10 microseconds, so that could be changed. Obviously when these are on, they're on, and when they're off, they're off. But then we're going to add this power function as well, so none of these can be activated or changed whilst it's in off mode. We'll add that in. Okay, so what we'll do is, as you can see, that's working. None of the other ones are set up yet, so they're not going to be doing anything. It's just this one. Someone asked whether you could send X codes. I think with this app itself, I don't believe you can. Reason being is, I don't think it allows you to put enough characters in there to do hex. I mean, it might do, depending on your hex code itself. So yeah, you could possibly do it on this app. I know when I first tried this app out, it would have been a couple of years back now. It would only let you put the one character. Also, you can download voice apps. I don't know whether you see my video on the voice control, but you could also add voice apps, and what the voice app would do, it'll try and work out what it is you've said, and then it'll send the text message through. Well, I'll show you that on the actual code side on the Arduino IDE, and it'd be simply, you'd just put whatever that word is, that phrase, and depending on whether that voice app's going to pick up what you're saying. I mean, when it comes to numbers, sometimes it'll type it out and sometimes it'll actually put the number. So it all depends on the app that you use really for the voice app, but you could quite easily voice control this. You could have like your first one as lights and then that one as door or anything like that, so you could use this as a home automation. Let's go over to the IDE and we'll do the rest of the video. Okay, so I've wrote out some of it already. This charge here is just for the Bluetooth data, and obviously we've got the serial, which is obviously listening out for these characters. So first thing you want to do is you set off your digital pins. You want to set these as outputs, so you want 2 through to 9. Just digital pin mode, sorry, and then in brackets you want 2, which is obviously to identify which pin it is, and then obviously you set it as an output. Also, we want to set all the states of the pins. On my board, it requires a negative, so it wants to be low. So this is the reason that we're stating that all the pins, remember this is inside the first part you set up here, all the pins want to be set high. For that reason, the relays will be turned off. That's obviously in the setup. Also, in the void part, obviously you want to put if serial available, and then obviously in this character here, this is the if statements here. So if it receives a capital A, obviously that's the button pressed, and that's going to turn relay on. And to turn the relay off, obviously we've got the lowercase. That could be anything. It could be a word, it could be anything, depending on how you're going to do it. Obviously on the digital right, you need to state which pin, which is pin 2. This is our first one, and obviously we're setting that low to turn it on, and we're setting it high to turn the relay off. And then this is just the delay at the end. I've changed that to, it was 10 microseconds, but I've set it to 50 microseconds. It doesn't really matter. So obviously to do the next one, we just want to copy from here to the if just here, just copy that, and then we want to go below this, and then we want to paste that there underneath, and then all you need to do now is just change this one to B, so it's a capital B, and then change that one to a lowercase b. I'm going to change this one here to 3, which is your next one, and this one to 3. And it's that simple. That's your next one. So this just change the writing on here so you know which is which. So that'll be relay 2, and that's relay 2. Same again. Click here, click your enter and drop it down one, and then just paste your next, and the same again. So you've got your last 2 here. You're just changing this one now to C. So that's a capital C, and then a lowercase c. Same on here. So you want to go to your next one. So this is going to be digital pin 4. And that one's going to be digital pin 4, and that's going to be relay 3 and relay 3, and it's as simple as that. Same again, drop it down, put your next one in. This is going to be a capital D, lowercase d, and this one's now going to be 5 and digital pin 5. That's going to be relay 4 and relay 4. Same again, just drop it down, paste it again. It's going to be capital E, lowercase e. This is going to be 6. That's going to be digital pin 6. And this is going to be relay 5. And that's going to be relay 5. And you just keep going down like that. Try not to remember to go to this one here, because that's actually, it tells you there, look, if serial available. And that's what that one reads to. This one's obviously reading to here, and this last one here goes to the void loop, which is at the start of the code. So you want to make sure you got that one, the one that's going to here, and then just drop it down. Same again, just paste in again. That wants to be a capital F, lowercase f, and obviously that wants to be pin 7 on the Arduino. That one wants to be pin 7 as well, and that's going to be relay 6 and relay 6. If you keep these up to date and make sure you change all of these, should you ever need to change anything later in the code or change it to a word or anything like that, you're pretty much going to know what relays what. So it shouldn't be hard to find and readjust. And you just keep going until we've got to our last one. Right, that's going to be capital G, or lowercase g. It's going to be pin 8. Pin 8. That's relay 7. 7. And for the last one, got H, which is capital, and then a lowercase. Digital pin 9, digital pin 9. That's going to be relay 8, which is your last one, and that's going to be relay 8, which is your last one also. To add the power function, what you could do is, so just above here, we could take just take these two lines, which we don't really need to do because we've already got that copied, but we could just get to above it here, just comment this bit out just to keep it all separate. Drop that down, stick another one in here, and just change that to P. So capital P, lowercase p, and this is just to add the switch. That's not actually going to write a digital pin, this one, so we need to change this. So what we need to do is just set a value on here. So what I'm going to do is, if we come to the top here, we'll just call it power. I need to make that an integer, sorry, as well. So int space power equals, and then we'll put set that at 0, like that. And now if we come back to this, we just need to change some of this now. So obviously we want it to listen for the P, but the bit we want to change is this part here. So on here we want to change that to power equals, and then 1. On this one, remove that, change that to power equals, and then 0. And it's as simple as that. So this will be power. We'll just change that to power on, and then change this one to power off, just like that. And it's that simple. So now when the P's on, the P's off. So all you need to do now also is add on to the code here. So that's what it's waiting for code wise. And we just want to add, I think it's that one, and so it needs both. It'll need both. I think you might have to do it with one and, but we'll do it with a 2. So you just want to put and power equals 1. So if the power isn't on, it'll disable this one here. It's as simple as that. And you just add this into every line of code where you want in it. So if you just want it to, you can still switch them off, but you can't switch them back on without the power. You could simply do it like that. So make sure power's on there. Once you've got that, you could just simply copy that So what we'll do is first we'll just verify to make sure the code's fine, make sure there's no errors anywhere. So we've got an argument on the delay, wrong type of argument, minus. So I must have typed a character there at some point. Just verify it again. And there you go, it's done compiling, so it's verified. So everything's fine there. For now, we're just going to leave that power on number 1. But like I say, if you want to add it, you just copy up to the and then all you do then is you just make sure you're this side of the letter in, because that's obviously to do with the Bluetooth part. And then you just paste it there like that. So you just paste it at the side of it. So for the first one, so we can disable that. And that's all that's going to do. Obviously, when we set this off, that statement will not be true, because it's waiting for both statements, that one and this one. So A, and it wants power to be 1. If power's 0, obviously it's not gonna, let the code run and obviously set these values here. It'll just miss it. So I'll just take that one out of there for now. We'll just leave it on 1 for the on side of it. And make sure also that you've unplugged the Bluetooth. You want some way of being able to stick the Bluetooth into something for the pins to go in and be able to just take it out without having to unsolder it. Because if your Bluetooth's in, it will not allow you to upload this code. You'll just get errors every time. So once you've got that, you just click upload, and it should upload. On some boards you might get issues. Originally I had an issue on mine, but it's because I was running a different code on the board which was listening out for something else. It wasn't allowing me to upload the code. So if it's got a reset button on it, just tap the reset whilst it's if it's stuck and it's not actually uploading. If you just tap the reset on it, that'll enable it to synchronize, and then it'll upload the code. But that code's gone up now, so we'll go back to the actual project. So now we've got the code uploaded. I'll just cancel this, and we'll go back to this one that we made before. I need to reconnect to the Bluetooth because obviously I've connected it back up now. So we'll just pair this back up. And this light here will go solid. If it's, I think this is a HC05. Oh, it's a HC06. It says it there. Obviously that will go solid once it's connected. Click done. Run the project. So now if I come to the first one and click it, obviously that one's not going to turn on because we've added that power function to it here. So if I just click the power button now, look, and it's still not working. That might be something I've done wrong in the code there, but the rest of them should work fine. As you can see, they're all turning on, apart from this one. I have to see what I've done there. I have set that right on there. Let me just check this because I don't think I've set that button up. It should work. Capital P, lowercase p, so that's set. But for some reason it's not set in the value. I'll have to look into that one. Not sure why. But normally that would work. But obviously you can see without the power function, obviously all of these work. Doesn't matter which one you click on, apart from the first one, because I've obviously bugged it out somehow. I'll just check that code a second, see what I've done. Okay, I see what I've done. I didn't realise I'd done that, but I'd added a plus. I accidentally added a plus on the actual code itself, which is the reason that it ain't working. So on the power side, right, so also if you're on the power side of it as well, it should only just be equals 1, whereas I put equals equals. That's another reason that it won't be working. So what I want to quickly do is it should only be equals equals on the actual the if statement, whereas to set a value it's just equals 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly unplug this, upload the code now, fix that problem. which should bring this firstly relay back online. Okay, that's gone up. I'll plug this back in. Doesn't quite fit, but it does the job. I'll come back here. We need to reconnect again to the Bluetooth. H06 and connect. That's straight away connected up. Obviously that one still ain't working, but if I press the power now, it should work. As you can see, it's now turning on and off. If it's off, it will let you turn it off. That's because I didn't add the power part in the other part of the function. Remember to, on the power, so when you're setting, it needs to be power equals 1, and then the whatever that thing is at the end of it. But yeah, as you can see now, they're all working, apart from this one. I've had the power on, obviously now they all work. Every single one of them. As you can see, I'm actually taking the power from this board. Like I say, the actual chip on there doesn't pass through this, the actual main chip. It's only on the 3.3 volts side. It does have on the back side of this is a voltage regulator, and they're good for 1 amp. I doubt this is pulling 1 amp. In fact, I could find out what we're pulling if I just get a charge adapter of some kind. I could do with one. I can actually plug power in. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll unplug this from the PC and we'll use a power bank. I can't find the other one that I've got, so I'm going to have to use a power bank to power it. I'll just plug it in here, plug in the USB. We should get an idea now of what power we're using here. I need to reconnect this again. Just connect Bluetooth and connect. That's connected. Rerun the project. I'll leave them set as they are, even though they do need to be reset before they'll actually trigger. Where's that? There we go. It's because it reset in the code. So that's just the wattage. So we want the amps. It's there. So it's not even pulling. That's the whole thing as well. That's the Bluetooth, the Arduino. It's only pulling. It's pulling under 500 milliamps. So the voltage regulator on the back of this, totally fine running it. So these are probably pulling like 30 milliamps a piece or something, probably a little bit less to trigger them. But it also helps at the low side as well, whereas this ain't having to put out power in order to trigger these on. It literally just sends it to ground, which is what activates these relays themselves. So yeah, so take these out, should get a rough idea. So that's the actual project itself. I don't know if you can see that. This camera don't pick this one up very well, so we can find a different one. I don't know what it is with cameras and white light, but they don't like it for some strange reason. So we'll use this, and now you can see what I'm seeing. There we go, you can see that now. So we're only pulling like 30 milliamps, just the project itself, 30-40 milliamps. And obviously should we turn one on? Obviously I need to reconnect the Bluetooth for that again. So we'll just turn all that off, just to reset everything. Connect. Make sure I click on that, connect. Like I say, sometimes this will connect straight away and other times it takes the piss, but it's okay at the moment. So we'll put the power on, so we've got all of them. That's the first one on, so it's probably pulling like 12, so 120 milliamps, I think. Its sort of levels are probably about, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. So this one's showing, it probably needs recalibrating, to be fair. So that one's showing like, we'll say 900 milliamps, including everything else, the Bluetooth. In fact, looking at this, the Bluetooth's actually turned itself off. Now, I don't know whether that's this charge doctor itself or what, but now the Bluetooth's turned itself off. Obviously these ain't working, connection's lost. So it probably is pulling more power now than what it should have been. Like I say, ideally though, you do want an external source for these, just to power them up. And I think there's a little pin here for setting that. This slider doesn't feel too great, to be fair. Feels a bit narky. I'll take that off. Still pull in. See, I don't know why this has gone off. It shouldn't have gone off, really. Let's just disconnect and reconnect it. Yeah, so I think it's the power side of it all. I don't see what the difference was between that one and that one though, unless this one doesn't allow as much current to flow through it as the other one does. Like I say, them relays will take whatever they want to take in order to process this. So just reconnect this. Like I say, you shouldn't really be driving it like this anyways. You would normally have an external power source. You'd still need a ground reference to this as well. So that's connected again. See, it seems to work fine through this one, but I think it's because this itself is limiting the current. See, it's only pulling 500 now, you see, through this. So I don't know whether there's something wrong with this or what. Let's try this direct to the power bank. We'll do the same again. We'll just turn all this off. I just want to double check this before you start doing your own. So change that. It's not actually displaying as being disconnected yet. Alright, it's just come up lost connection. So it's not super fast at detecting that. I think there might be a problem with this. I don't think it's allowing the current through. And also, I think that's way off as well. It's more likely 500 milliamps is pulling. Come on, you're going to connect. Try again. There we go. It's got it this time. So I'll come back on here, we'll run it again. And we'll just turn them all on, and then we'll just double check. So yeah, there's a problem with this itself. Obviously that's direct power, and it's not having a problem now. So I think there might be an issue with this. Looking at them connectors inside, they aren't even copper. They look like tin connectors. So there probably isn't enough current coming through this. Hence why this turned off before, but it's fine. So it's roughly about 500 milliamps it's pulling. Everything seems to work fine now. So yeah, would have been the problem. Like I say, some of these you get them. They're not that great, to be fair. Pretty much bought a few of them. So yeah, it was actually it was losing current through that. Plus it was saying it was doing 900, which I very much do. I have tested these before, and they do pull, like I say, they only pull about 500 in total. So yeah, there you go. I might do is as a second part to this, whereas I'll show you like with voice commands. I've done all this before. It's pretty much the same setup. It's literally just changing it in the code. You're just changing them letters for actual words. It's as simple as that. And then you just want an app that then allows you to so if we come on to here, so see, this is what I mean with the adverts. So if we just jump onto here, so we'll just type something like Bluetooth, Bluetooth voice text or something like that. Let's try voice, see what we'll come up with. I know there is some that will do it. Voice chat. So you just want like a voice to text editor. Bluetooth voice controller. Let's try that one. This is saying. Yeah, so this would be an ideal tool. So if we install this, I'll just quickly set this up just to show you how easy it is. Like I say, you could change it to words, but it should still do the letters. So if I say the letter A, it'll probably pick it up as saying hey or something stupid like that. Just depends on how good this is and the microphone quality of this this junk here. So we'll just try this out. Available devices. So we'll click on there. We've got our H. So I don't know if this is going to actually type anything else in front of it. It shouldn't do. So connected. Which is connected. That's on. Runtime error. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because this Bluetooth, this tablet's absolute crap. But yeah, it'd be as simple as that. You'd just do it on there. You'd just change, obviously, your first one, just change the lights or whatever it's connected to in the code. And obviously you want the space and then on or off, so you can obviously turn it on and off. But failing that, that's as simple as it is, really. So I hope you've had fun watching and watching me fail with this thing or whatever it is. I'll just chuck that one away. And yes, so please subscribe, like, share, comment if you'd like on any other videos you'd like me to do, and hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye.